Hello, everybody. How are you? You know, she gave me the phone number, but she never gave me the link. I mean, or did she? Maybe she did. There's a link on my wall. What did I do with it? I guess I didn't put the link over here. I guess, damn it. Can you hear me now? Go to her wall. What's going on, guys? Can you hear me now? How about now? All right, we are just about at that time. Let's see here. All right, this is Tara Joyce. Tara Joyce. It's that naked dude. Oh, that's a Dayak warrior drawn by a Dayak warrior himself. Well, he's a Dayak. He's from Indonesian. Hold on, I'm just trying to find Tara's show. Probably should have done this earlier. Damn it. Sorry, give everybody a minute to get in here. That light looks a lot brighter at night, huh? Press here to play sound. I don't see it. Now playing. I'm working on it. I'm trying to figure out how to get the show on the air here. I don't. What the hell? Whoa. Bear with me here, guys. California on a call. Can you hear me all right? Oh, yeah, I fucking hung up on it. Just about. Here, let's see if I can turn you up a little bit.
Who's this?
This is Derek Connors.
Oh, okay. You're ready to call in the show. Okay, do me a favor. I forgot you were calling in. Can you hang up and call me back one more time, and I'll bring you in the call. And when you come in, if you can, please mute and wait until she calls on you. Okay?
10-4. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Bye. All right. So I am calling into the Tara Joyce show. It's called the WTF Show Wednesday. Thanks, Chad. Getting there, man. Getting there. Can you guys hear when it's like
you're in the military? That must be a big coup, a big plus up for women and everything. Oh, and you know what? I see that I have a caller here, and I bet it's Derek. Derek, is it you?
Yes, it is. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, I can hear you. Thank you so much for tuning in. I mean, for calling tonight, because I know that we were talking before, and I'm kind of what I'm really talking about is social network. The social media network. Censorship.
Right.
It's a big deal right now. A lot of people are getting their YouTube, videos or YouTube channels are being shut down. People's Twitter accounts are being shut down. Google, Facebook. I mean, everybody's in jail all the time. They're really wanting to crack down on having any other information or dialogue than what the mainstream media is giving us. But before you came on, before I got to that, because I know I really want to talk about it, I was just talking about how they're face recognition now on Facebook, as if now they want to make sure that every profile is a person we're going to all be scanned, like Minority Report now. I mean, your iPhone has face recognition. Everything's got face recognition, so nobody's going to get away with not being seen pretty much. Which I think that's a good thing, right? In some ways, and in some ways it's not. In some ways, it's kind of creepy, right?
Yep.
What are your thoughts on face recognition on everything?
Oh, holy hell! I mean, you kind of realize that in the beginning. We've been talking about that for years, but when they put that notice up on our Facebook there, it's been a couple weeks now. I was like, "Are you serious?" And then when all this stuff started going on, I was like, "Well, maybe that is true." Well, right after I had tagged you in a post to do that I was coming on this show. They cut the sound on my audio or something. They wouldn't let me go live audio on my other account. So as soon as I switched up, I'm not going to say exactly what I did, but I'm live and streaming right now with you live. Hopefully, you are live, right?
Yeah, I'm live right now. We're live on True Cat Radio.
Awesome. So yeah, it's crazy what's going on right now. Absolutely freaking insane.
Yeah, it really is, and I'm very disturbed by they've just deleted YouTube channel. I think there's another channel that I watch sometimes called Black Child Productions. They got shut down.
Right.
I just thought. I was looking through they got shut down. Of course.
Hey, Terry, hang on just a second. It looks like for some strange reason, I don't think maybe when we brought the caller in, the video got cut. So I'm restarting the video. Just letting you know, you might want to just kind of, since your caller just joined us, just sort of create a little, all right.
Okay, all right. So I'll kind of start. Well, you know what? I kind of had a little bit of an awkward start, anyways. For some reason, it was like, boom, I'm going, and I couldn't get the words coming out of my mouth for some reason. But the show tonight, I titled it the WTF Show. And before today, I did a show about the show that the show where I'm going to talk about the things I'm not supposed to talk about. Because if you do any hashtag of the young man that has been speaking out for gun control, the David. Anyways, this is my joke about it. In social media fascism.
Pig.
That's what I said.
In
social media fascism, his name is hashtag David Pig. It's like. Anyways, I was doing a play on the Fight Club. He has a name. In social media fascism, he has a name. His name is David Pig. So it's like hashtag David Pig. But if you put
where's my sound effect board?
Steven, you're making fun of my joke. Okay. Anyway, I think it's funny because it's
in the memory of Dave. I think we got to be respectful of, or Bob, in Bob's memory.
In Bob's memory?
Bob, in death, Bob has a name. His name was Bob.
His name was Bob.
My favorite part of the movie, really.
Bob had bitch shits. Big, sweaty bitch shits.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Anyway, just all of that stuff. Any narrative. Anything that we're saying that's against what the mainstream narrative wants you to believe, you're being censored. And again, we can take this back to the cannabis plant, right? I mean, William Randolph Hearst was the first paper to actually do a smear campaign. We're still suffering from that. So when you look at media, when you figure out like what's fake news, what's real news, what's acceptable, what's not acceptable, that's a big question because really journalism and the media has never been. It doesn't seem like they've been really honest from the very beginning. It's always been compromised.
No. I mean, they know that their generation is running out. You know what I mean? How anybody under 40 really watch network television? Everybody gets everything on the internet. So they know that they got to control it. We've been saying since we started doing this that social media was going to be the change. Well, guess what? Social media is changing, all right.
Well, it really has been, and when you look at the president that we have right now, social media, people go, it's because these evangelical Christians and this and that, and blah 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 blah. the whole profile of the Trump voter is like, well, they just didn't get it right, even though we did our whole liberal campaign all over the mainstream news. What happened is that the internet happened. And the internet, I believe, is really responsible for helping President Trump get elected. I mean, look, we have a president that tweets. I mean, he knows, if people say, well, they criticize him for that, but at the same time, it's immediate exposure. It makes him accessible to the average, to us. Oh my God, there's this tweet. It's on my phone. I can see what he's saying. Whereas really a lot of the other politicians aren't doing this either. Then we had, WikiLeaks and Julia Assange and all of this information come out that the mainstream media won't even address or touch. So there's a whole entire different dialogue of information going on, especially, like here on Two Cat Radio or anywhere else, than you're going to get when you turn on the television. And yet, and now that we see how there's such a crackdown on everybody, I don't know if you know this, Derek, but in California we had Senator Dianne Feinstein, and then there was also Adam Schiff, and they actually sent notes to Google and Facebook because they were going to go after people who were using the hashtag release the memo, saying that was a Russian bot that caused that, and it was affecting American politics, American gun control. Even though Russia doesn't have guns, all this kind of stuff. I think that's offensive. I mean, whether or not there are Russian bots or not, what they're asking Facebook and Google to do is to surveil our profiles and then delete our accounts if they determine that we are Russian or a Russian sympathizer, I suppose. That's just like that's a witch hunt right there.
Yep. What? Repeat that. What was that? A witch hunt.
It's a witch hunt.
Jesus.
It's a witch hunt.
Yep.
And we are, as citizens, we are under attack. And so I know that you've been involved with the plant Kratom. You've been, your means of communication to the people that are using it, and the information that has come from online communication, because, I bet most people in the United States maybe don't even know about Kratom per se, or even the qualities or what's going on behind it. It's the same thing with like cannabis. They don't want you to know exactly everything. They want to keep it in this little box that can be some sort of like, for example, when it came to the election, when the candidates were running the Republican Party, they asked the social media questions. They'll say, well, the social media question is, what about marijuana legalization? That's from our camp. It's not coming from anywhere else. What is going on with you, and what kind of discrimination have you been going through?
Well, my account's personally getting shut down, and man, there's probably hundreds of us that are getting shut down on a regular basis if we use the hashtag Kratom, extracts. I'm assuming extracts is straight across the board, because I had a group that was just nothing. I think it was just called extracts, and that was shut down today. That's what made my main group go down, my main profile go down. And we are just, there's computers lagging, and the Twitters are getting shut down. Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, it's you gotta be tricky to be able to get by it.
Your pages.
What's that?
I'm sorry. When you post in, like, I'm finding that when I post in my personal Facebook page, not my personal Facebook page, but my fan page.
Yep.
Okay. When I post in that, it gets all bottled up. I put one post in there, and then I have trouble sharing it in any groups. So now I'm strictly posting my stuff off my profile, because I don't really have a choice.
That's the only choice we have. And then you got to be careful when you share what you share from there.
Yeah. Well, Stephen, this is his radio station, Stephen D. Kelly. He's been banned off of Facebook more than he's been on Facebook. He's off for 2 or 3 days, and then they have him off.
Yeah,
and he's off for 30 days.
Yeah, that's what's going on with me. I was just banned from 2 accounts for 30 days, got back, and I've had another one banned. And I mean, I literally have done nothing wrong. Whoop. And it's getting out of control. It's not just me. It's everybody that's active that's being activist for Kratom. Okay, anybody that's out there speaking for Kratom, that is spreading information. If you're sharing the hashtags, the Kratom, the I am Kratom, and all that, we're getting targeted. I mean, it is definitely a targeted issue. You know what I mean? This shit's gonna stop, and the only way it's gonna stop is when people like us get out there and just start talking about it. Verbally. Meeting people, get on the ground, talking to people. We've got to get control of how the social media, what the goals are going to be in the long run. I mean, even with the whole net neutrality issue that was going on there, this is borderline infringement of a lot of stuff.
I don't know if you know this, but do you know the guy named? I mean, there's some. He was associated with Julian Assange. His name is Kim.com. Are you familiar with him and any of that stuff?
Who is it? Kim?
His name is Kim.com. He's in New Zealand. He was part of the Seth Rich. Sean Hannity wanted to interview Kim.com because it was believed that Seth Rich was the leaker of the documents that happened in Wiki, with WikiLeaks.
Yeah.
Future for 2.0 document is what a lot of people believe is Seth Rich. And then when Seth Rich was supposed to go, when Kim.com was going to go on and talk about it with Sean Hannity, his advertisers pulled out, and Sean Hannity got a lot of flack. So that interview was never really done. Well, Kim.com got in trouble with, he had, a Dropbox and a big website and everything. And he got copyright infringement, and he got his house raided. But it was really about what's going on with WikiLeaks. It's all what we're talking about, okay? Now, Kim.com says that Hollywood owns 90% of the mainstream media, and they even own our elections in the sense because they're liberal and they usually back the Democrat candidate. Now, they actually said that they were not going to fund Obama for his second term unless he actually supported net neutrality. If he supported the agenda of stopping us, right? The whole copyright issues and everything. If he didn't support them, they weren't going to give them money for his second term campaign.
Imagine that.
So that's how much control that they've been wanting to do this way back when. They probably already saw this ball running, but they were going to try to nip it in the bud as soon as possible. But it hasn't been that. We've made a fight against it.
Right.
Some people have lost their lives over this.
There's been a lot of people that lost their lives over this. These are scary times that are going on right now. People think that it's all fun and games, and that it's not. I mean, this is real shit, people. You're watching stuff live, real stuff. I mean, there's things going on every day. You guys really, I'm not saying like tune in and be glued to your set, but you got to be aware of your surroundings at all times because things are not all that they appear.
No, they aren't what they appear. And I'm finding, I don't know about you, because I'm watching what's happening on Facebook. I'm seeing what their reaction to all of this. There are people that are using social media, and some of them just really don't get it. It's like either it's not affecting them yet, or they really feel that some people should be shut up. They really think that the opposite voice or opposite information, well, that's fake news. This whole fake news campaign. Derek, do you know where that came from when Facebook started? Do you notice like when you can report a post or a person, or especially like a post, they'll go, do you think this is fake news? It starts to ask you. It's making people become aware. It's making people turn each other in.
Right.
Because they think that what you're talking about is fake news. And yet, the things that are being talked about aren't fake news. See? I mean, it's like the mainstream media will purposely do a campaign against something that's actually very real, and say, well, that's fake news. And then the people who are actually saying that also have fake news thrown in there about the subject matter.
Oh, absolutely.
There is a reason why a part of it is fake.
I mean, this is what
that one element was fake. They take it and they run it off and they go, well, they're all fake. So if you talk about this, if you talk about Kratom, if you do a hashtag extract or whatever, if you talk about if you question the shooting that happened in Florida, or hashtag David Pig, you get your YouTube channel shut down, or your Facebook, you get dinged on Facebook and you can't do anything. And yet there are stuff about that particular, both scenarios that people need to, be questioning. Maybe. Well, what's the real truth about this? Why are you trying to shut me down just because I have a hashtag?
Right. I mean, why they is crazy, and they don't allow people to look into things. It's just the bots are sitting there, the analytics, everything, watching us the whole time.
Yeah.
Well, once you hit, I don't know, once you start really getting into it, they really will shut you down quick, and it's sad. For the people that aren't being violent, aren't promoting violence, why? And when you're doing but spreading truth, that's it,
Well, they're selective about what they want to ding too, because apparently the shooters, Nicholas Cruz's YouTube video, where he's basically saying in it that he wants to, do a shooting, that he's making a threat, he's revealing his intention. That stayed up on forever on YouTube. They even have people turn it in and have it to be investigated, and nothing happens. So, but yet you can just talk about it and question. Like, I could have my YouTube channel shut down if I question YouTube for doing that, and then I hashtag the young man's name. I mean, that's insane. That right there makes me question, well, what are you hiding? Like, how come there's this double standard? Why are you, picking on certain individuals? And some of the stuff that's happening, like, for example, what's happening on YouTube, it's AI. It's just, bots picking up words without being able to get the irony of it or anything. You just happen to tag it, say it, or if they can, I don't know how, I think that they can even go through some of the, they can pick up the words out of the dialogue of what you've uploaded to get a feel of what you're saying. So now you've got to, I feel that you've got to title your YouTube videos in like a nebulous way. You can't get straight to the point about what you're talking about, because if you do, then you're subject to being shut down. I had a bunch of videos that were demonetized. It wasn't like I was making a lot of money. Anyways, I was making a little bit of money off of YouTube. Demonetized on many things that was shocking. And that was the first time where I thought, well, this is a direct attack. But when I found out it was AI, it's not even human beings. So now we have AI that has been programmed to make a snap judgment on something when it has no consciousness or any take on morality whatsoever.
Yeah, controlling every move, or at least they think they're gonna. And they don't have to physically do it either. They get us all connected to computers. Everything is connected to my Facebook when it comes to outside other apps like Twitter, Instagram. So when my Facebook gets shut down and I got to switch everything over, what about these people that don't actually have a cell phone and they rely on some sort of social media to get a hold of somebody? Like Logan and I was talking about that today. It's like, I was going to call him to test the connection to call in with you here. And I was like, oh, I don't even have your telephone number because we text in PM all the time. Everybody finds me in PM, So it's like they're corralling us in order so they can go click, and that's the scary part, is they can just take the switch and go click at any time. And I mean, that's how I see it anyways. I mean, didn't they already sell our internet rights to another country?
I didn't know that.
I'm pretty sure Obama sold our internet rights to China, unless that was like fake news.
There was something that there was something where there was something that the American we had the data stored, or we had some sort of we were on top of it, like we're more in control of it.
Yeah, I mean, the Washington Times says Obama gives away the internet and with it our liberty.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, an argument that I got from somebody when I posted some of this stuff, when I advertised my show about my show for yesterday, I had one guy that I've known for a really long time say, "Well, it's private companies, and so they have the right to do this because it's private companies." But then again, my question about that is that, well, is it okay for a private company just to blatantly discriminate against somebody just because they're biased, because their political views don't fit in with the political views of the agenda? I mean, like are you stopping information from flowing that may actually be the truth? Impeding communication, because for a political agenda is questionable. I mean, I think it's comparative to, let's say, you had a gay couple that wanted to get married and you baked cakes, but you didn't believe, you thought that, being gay was an abomination. And so you refused to bake their cake because you didn't believe in gay marriage. Well, that went all over the place. How dare you? But if they're a business, see, the argument is the business has the right to refuse service to anybody. So there's that fine line of discrimination, human right laws, and the Second Amendment or whatever. But see, the Second Amendment, not the Second Amendment, but the First Amendment doesn't really apply to the entire rest of the world, right? So we're kind of looking at it from an American perspective, but still, I mean, just the integrity of it is still a discrimination. It's deciding who gets to speak and who doesn't get to speak. And really, we're talking about Facebook. Facebook isn't just social media. I had another person make a comment where they go, well, it's just social media, and let's just leave it. Let's take all the, let's not politicize social media anymore. Let's not have information out there anymore. Let's leave it to the kids. I'm like, well, what are we going to do? Like, take selfies of ourselves every 2 minutes and like, here's my meal. Like, we're going to be resorted to shallow conversations. No, I look at Facebook because I want to share information. It's my way of getting ideas and messages out and having momentum, getting things, changing, I'm media, okay? So right. What is the only way? How am I going to get my media out there? Social media, because I'm online media, because it all fits in one big leg.
Right.
And they're doing the same thing. Yeah. They have all their websites and their fan pages, and they're using the same thing as what we're using. So what gives them a better right than us?
Because we're shutting down their mainstream media. Eventually,
right.
I mean, after like I said before, who under 30 is really watching mainstream media?
They're not. And we do have channels like, a lot of people don't like Alex Jones, from the mainstream media. They can't stand him. But you know what? He's getting numbers that are beyond some of these other networks, and it's on the internet. They've got to be freaking out. Oh, CNN really hasn't been doing that great, and yet look what they're doing to us politically. But I heard that some of their ratings were like below the Hallmark Channel.
Yeah, oh yeah,
that's bad.
They're falling all the time, every year. I can't remember what NBC's was this year, but I know they put out a release of record lows, I'm pretty sure.
Nobody wants to watch football anymore. Like all of it, it's like a crack in the wall. It's like there's a crack in the mirror. It's crumbling on their end. So I think we're seeing this backlash really. I think we're getting a really extra dose of it because of this Florida shooting. That's really been a reason to really topple it down, because it's not just people talking about crisis actors. It's not just people. There's some there's some things wrong with it. Like the FBI didn't act on it. The police stood off. The sheriff asked them to stand down. We can go on a list of what's not right with it. despite the fact that it's they paraded the kids out and they've done this whole. Well, really, they've given them scripts to read. I mean, there's been kids who've like criticized them for putting words in their mouth to do what they're doing. So, but it's the online media that has a different voice about it, and that's being deemed as fake news.
Yep, exactly.
And you need to be shut down immediately.
Yep, without question. Well, I'm sure there probably is.
Right.
In some cases, I'm sure there's question, but. Like I said before, the owner of the BeLive place here, when I confronted him, because you got to pay for the thing up front, and it attaches automatically to your account. So when they shut my account down, I've paid all that for this platform that I can't use, and they're like, "Oh, well, sorry, that's something you got to deal with Facebook." I'm like, Facebook does not respond to any messages ever. Never in the history of Facebook, and you know how active I am. This is social media is my thing, and they don't respond.
Yeah.
Hell,
no, they never respond. I don't think there's anybody. I mean, and they're not going to either, probably.
Right. No.
Right. It just happens. That's it. And you could beg all day, but when you get shut down like that and you have a business, that's revenue. I mean, Facebook is a business model. I mean, people. If you don't have a Facebook page, you don't have anything. You don't have a business. You don't have any. Nobody knows you. You're not on the map.
Yeah.
So for them to cripple you like that,
right? Well, I mean, we've been able to spread out and have other sources, but it's just a huge pain when Facebook makes you connect. When everything really is kind of like centralized on Facebook, like Twitter and all that, you can literally post right from Facebook and hit a couple things at once, which makes it nice, but. I don't know. Aggravating to say the least.
BeLive, what is that?
BeLive, it's a platform that you can use to stream and bring other people in on your stream. I'll advertise them if they want to let me back on my other account. God damn it! It's a streaming platform.
All right, so it's a software that works with Facebook that allows you to stream, and it gives you a little bit more options than the regular live stream that Facebook has.
Yes, yeah. And it seems a little weird that they connected that directly to Facebook, that you can't even like switch accounts or anything like that. It's connected right to that one account that you sign up with. So,
you know what? Can you just give me a moment? I don't know why somebody's calling me right now. And it's probably my stalker. No, I'm kidding. I don't know. I'm joking. Okay, so why do you think that what are they dinging you for? I mean, like, okay, so when they shut you down, what is their reason what is their excuse?
Well, they're finding stuff way back in my profile, so I don't know if there's like robots that go through and search your profile once you hit a certain hashtag or something. But I know that if you're posting any more than like once every 15 minutes, I'm pretty sure they've implemented those into the algorithm, certain hashtags. I'm mostly just fighting for Kratom, trying to spread the message out there, and they don't like it. I mean, Scott Gottlieb has really spread a lot of mistruth, and it's really crazy. I mean, they basically set up the stage for them to be able to make a lot of things bad, or a lot of good things bad. That come on bad. But I don't know, I'm aggravated. Totally aggravated about the whole situation.
I guess Zuckerberg released something like we really apologize for not, being stronger on our community guidelines, and we promise to really start making sure that Facebook is blank, 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 and blah, 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 blah. We don't tolerate blank, blank, blank. And so we're going to, it's just like this whole pomp and circumstance from them came recently.
Right.
And it's like, what, you're not working hard enough? I mean, it feels like they're right there ready to just cut you off at any moment. I'm thinking they're weeding people out just fine. One of the things that I don't think that perhaps people don't realize either was there was a David Brock. He's with Media Matters for America, and he was part of Hillary Super PAC as well. And he's a political strategist, but he also does a little bit more than that. When the WikiLeaks came out, and it was all about right before the election. See, a lot of people feel that Hillary didn't win was because of Julian Assange's WikiLeaks. In those WikiLeaks, there was emails about that happened between John Podesta and I guess friends, okay, and they were using FBI code words for pedophilia. This is really true. I mean, and there's really no way that they can deny that didn't really exist. But anybody who questioned that dialogue and wanted to talk about it, now it turned into what people have coined as Pizzagate. But it's and whether or not the pizza parlors associated to any of this and blah 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 is really kind of also irrelevant. With the fact of the matter is that these code words were very suspicious, and nobody's investigated it. Nobody's done anything about it. And what did happen is that our president stood up in front of us and said that Russia hacked the election, and he mentioned John Podesta's emails, but he didn't say what was in it. And then they went in and he passed the Propaganda and Defamation Act, which was to come down and go after us again. Those of us that were the different blog sites, journalists that are not supposed to be real journalists, and it's designed to put more money into cultivating, I guess, what they have on CNN. Just make sure that you do our copying, our rhetoric. And even there was a host named Ben Swan that went on mainstream media and went through everything that was there, and made that question: why isn't the FBI, at least the FBI or the police, investigating this? And they took him out, man. He was dark on social media. I think he's still broadcasting finally now, like he's not dead. But they made him took on his own websites and everything about this. Now, getting back to David Brock with Media Matters for America, David Brock worked with Google.
Well, the thing about David Braun, I want to, Ben Swan, is he.
What?
You realize he put out a big thing about the FDA and Kratom, right?
No, I don't.
Yeah.
What's
I think
the
that's
FDA and Kratom? What's going on?
Can you hear that?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah. He just put out about the FDA's disinformation on campaign. He put out a YouTube video, and he's got 30,000 views on the YouTube video, and then on his website. Yeah, he's coming out swinging. That's for sure. It's pretty exciting to see him come back. I mean, he's coming out swinging hard. I'm surprised you didn't see the video. I'll take it and post it on your. I'll post it on your wall on your meme of this show.
Okay. Well, give me an update of what's going on. What's going on with Kratom? I know that you guys have been, you're very up on what's happening legally. I feel from some of your posts I'm seeing, it seems like you guys are having a bit of a struggle right now.
The DEA, the FDA is pretty much at their. I feel they're at their misinformation campaign. They're had this salmonella outbreak that's allegedly going on, but if you go back and look at the history of what the FDA did, Scott come out several months before. Well, the SISTA Act come out, okay, and somebody noticed that the AK noticed the SISTA Act, and they started fighting it, and everybody was like, "Well, why are you fighting this?" Because that was about a synthetic law. And he was like, well, it has all to do around wording and whatnot. And, well, sure enough, before you know it, Scott Gottlieb's up there. I can't remember. It was at a university someplace, and he verbally called Kratom an opioid. Well, that caused a big uproar. And the next thing you know, a month or so later, the FDA released it that their robotic scientists figured out that, guess what? Kratom is an opioid. So with all the scientists and everybody backing us up, yelling at them, I don't know, my theory is they decided to have a salmonella scare or something. I don't know. It's crazy. It's getting out of control. There's no way in hell is salmonella in Kratom no fucking way possible that the situation, if you look at the map, at the things that are going on, it doesn't make any sense. And the only way these people that are getting attacked like this is if they stand up and say something. And I'm not saying the people that is going through it, because of, I understand why, the laws and the cults, but the people that are surrounding them, if you see somebody going through something, the only way they're going to make it through it is if you help them through it, pick them up and carry them through it. Sorry, been a long couple weeks.
No, it's right. I mean, did somebody die from it? I mean, because I thought I saw you talking about that was there a death that happened? Did they OD?
You're gonna make me pull up information, aren't you? They've been saying that there's all kinds of deaths. I think the last report was they said that there was 44 deaths, but we're having, several people have had the reports gone through, and they've pretty much debunked every single one of them. But they're going through. I don't know how much I'm supposed to be saying. Fuck it. They're being gone through again, and what has been found is astronomical. So, like I said, the war isn't over, and it's because people are standing up, saying things, people taking notice, and looking further into it quietly without saying anything, if that makes sense. But the only reason why people are taking notice is because people are saying shit. Like you, like me.
Can you still get it though? I mean, can a person still use it or possess it?
Oh, absolutely. It's a natural
back?
plant. It's 100% legal. And as far as I'm concerned, it's 100% legal in every state. It's God's given plant. You know what I mean? It's bullshit that they're going to sit there and take that away. It doesn't do anything.
So why is Facebook attacking you so hard, though? I mean,
I wouldn't say they're attacking me. They're just shutting my accounts down.
What is it that Facebook is determining that if you're talking about, Kratom? Is it a selling thing? What is it? I mean, obviously you're okay to sell things on Facebook.
Well, no, they definitely cannot sell anything like Kratom or CBD. They're cutting down on now. Yeah, anything natural like that.
CBD? Are you serious?
I'm serious. They're making it so you can't sell CBD pretty soon. Yeah, like I said, it's not just our plant. It's not just our fight. It's everybody's fight.
CBD product, right? You have CBD product.
Yes, ma'am. We have CBD products.
And they said no, you can't, because really CBD isn't that. I mean, CBD is illegal. I mean, CBD, the CBD part of the cannabis is illegal. It's not illegal to have CBD. It's the THC.
That's correct.
Well, and yet they're not allowing you to do it.
What was that? Yeah, one of the people's deaths was a gunshot. I wish I had the report in front of me, but it is remarkable. Well, I think one guy committed suicide. There was a car accident. It's all information. They literally took all these cases. They're just gathering the whole history of people, okay, and their histories, and if there's any mention, then it's thrown into this data bank and it's flagged, and there it is. So like if I go to the hospital with a broken toe, then I broke my toe because I take Kratom, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Rob says several stores in Tennessee were just recently raided. Rob, it's getting bad in Tennessee, buddy. They really need it. Nobody in Tennessee is standing up at all. They said they've had one phone call to the one of the senators there, and they said that phone call was somebody from New York calling in regard to their son that's in that state that takes Kratom for some wound that they got in the war or something like that. So nobody in Tennessee is even standing up. And I know it's because it's illegal or it's not illegal or whatever it is, but it doesn't matter. It's not just Kratom that's at large. Everybody needs to just continue fighting.
Why is it that they're raiding them if it's legal? Like, what gives them the right to raid anybody if it's not against the law?
We can run and steal from them?
I don't know. I mean, is it a tax issue? I mean, what? That's the part I don't.
Well, in Tennessee, there's these wording issues, and that's what they're trying to battle out right now. And I don't know if the legitimacy of what Rob just said is true or not. But yeah, I'd have to look further into that on what's going on with that one.
But I don't want to say that, you know, I'm sure Rob, I'm sure he knows, you know, I don't want to, I'm just curious. I mean, what gives them, and if they are rating it, I'm not saying that I'm not, it's not like I'm, you know, putting you on the chopping block and going, well, you're probably, are you giving me a line of what? I don't mean it like that.
Right.
I mean it in the sense of like, well, what gives them the right? If it's legal, then why are you rating us? You know, I mean, it really kind of comes back to when they raid the medical marijuana dispensaries here in California, which is something that I went through. And, you know, that was my question. It's like, well, if it's legal
they were rating
marijuana, we voted for, why are you rating us? And
they were rating it for CBD.
Technically, the reasons why they would come after you. But if you didn't violate those things, I mean, everything kind of has some sort of law to it in a way. So where are they trying to ding the violation at? It's the same thing with like social media in a way. I mean, I'm jumping from here to there, but it's like, well, you violated this. Well, why did I violate it? And why are you penalizing me for something like that? When maybe I would do hashtag, you know, extract on one of my posts, and I wouldn't even be flagged for it at all. But if I do hashtag Seth Rich, you know, or hashtag David Pig, you know, then I'm in trouble. I guess we all have our things that we get in trouble for because they're already watching you, right? I mean, would you say, do you feel that Facebook is kind of like, you know, watching you, that they're onto you and they're kind of picking on you?
Maybe just a little bit. It's
Maybe?
all right. I'm going to pick on them.
Yeah. Or now here's another thing that could be going on, and which happens with certain people, because I think, you know, like this is something that happens, I think, to Stephen D. Kelly, who's in Facebook jail all the time, is that people gang up on him too. They report him for petty things. Oh, you got to report about this. Okay, now let's say it might have been something really minor, like, you know, he might have said, you know, your woman looks like a mouse or something, and then all of a sudden that's offensive. That's reason for him to get nicked when somebody else would have said it and it wouldn't be that big of a deal, but because they want to take him out anyways, because of what he's posting, the information that he's saying, what he's doing, they don't want him doing that. They don't want you signing petitions. They don't want you getting people riled up to do a fight against what they're doing, because that would be that I really think that's what's going on. And really, it's about controlling the dialogue. It's about who's controlling the dialogue, who's giving the words, who's informing people, who's the messenger really, or what is that message that's going out there that's creating a momentum against what it looks like an agenda. Why would people want to shut you up if there wasn't an agenda to make sure that their thoughts were the ones that influenced people and the only things they heard, if they're wanting to take what you're doing down?
Right. Yeah. I mean.
Right.
It's like how far is it going to go? You know, at what point are people going to realize that they literally can control our destinies? That we basically, unless you raise a farm, live on your own, and do not connect anywhere, you cannot control your own destiny unless you start standing up for yourself right now. And that's my own personal opinion. That is not the opinion of a Fountain Bay Soap Company. That's my own crazy ass.
Well, one thing, but you know what? We also have celebrities that are backing this kind of behavior, treatment. You know, we have celebrities like Jim Carrey just came out saying that, well, you know, if you should delete Facebook because Facebook took advertising from Russia and it affected our election. I think that's the silliest thing I've ever heard. You know, I mean, where were these Russian advertisers that affected us? That so much that we were all on social media and we went, oh my God, I have to vote for Trump. I just don't believe it. And yet what Jim Carrey is doing is he's causing us to police each other.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's how it's done. All of a sudden, everybody starts policing each other. Everybody starts thinking, well, yeah, Facebook's saying fake news. Facebook is doing this. People on Facebook are doing this. Those people that are doing it need to be shut down. Their shows need to be turned off because they tagged something in it way back when that they don't deserve to even have their channels being seen anymore. It feels like McCarthyism.
Yeah, it is. I mean, sorry, I'm trying to answer. Somebody was asking who says I'm not a resident. They're asking questions in my blog over here, and I got squirrel-tated there on your last sentence. The answer is if you're not a resident, then maybe if you have a son or something like that, or somebody that can be verified in that state, you can call on behalf of them. But when you call in, they're wanting to verify your residency. Sorry, that's straight from the AKA. He's lobbyist. Okay, go ahead, Tara.
Okay, that's not a problem. So you're now. What are you communicating on right now with the person that you're obviously you're like in a chat? Is that on Facebook?
Yeah, I have you live on my wall on Facebook off that Be Live platform.
Okay.
And
all right. So
I have.
You're doing a Facebook live stream while you're on the show right now.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay. See, yeah. I mean, I've had other people do that. I've done that.
Well, I mean, that's what you got to do. In order to get this message out today, you got to join forces, and you have to cross post and cross everything. You know, everything has to cross at this point. You know, there's no more circles. It's all crosses at this point.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, case in point, Facebook allows you to live stream, so it's social media. I mean, It's social network. I mean, they allow us to do what we're doing. It's set there. It's there for us, and yet they want it. But when we don't say the right things while we're using it, then we're gonna get in trouble.
Right. Well, like the last video I did, I had music playing in the background and in and out and stuff like that, and they deleted it because of that. But I mean, I've known about that with YouTube and everything, but that was the first time I've had that happen with Facebook. It's not like anybody is going to come and download my podcast to listen to this song over my voice. You know, it's not like it's going to go trending or something like that as an MP3 file. You know, I don't know.
Oh, wow. So you had music in the background on your Facebook live stream, and because of the fact that you had music, that might have been a copyright infringement. They took the video down?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. I didn't know that they could do that.
Yeah, I didn't either. That was the first. I mean, it was in like 10 seconds it came down.
Well, that's the whole net neutrality thing. I mean, that's or not net neutrality, but that's the piracy, or not piracy. It's the Piracy Act.
Yeah,
okay?
probably anti-piracy.
That's the whole copyright thing. That's another way of coming in and getting us
from another angle, kind of like the Sister Act.
Yeah. I mean, like get in for copyright infringement. That's how you get. We're taking you down for copyright infringement.
Right. Oh, but a DJ can take a song and cut it all up, mix it all up, and turn it around and do whatever he wants with it. But we have something in the background, and we can't speak peacefully. You know what I mean? There's got to be somebody that you would think that would step into these platforms and maybe create a job. You would think that he would create a job for somebody to help business owners out, or people that do decide to be activists. Because it isn't for anybody. Not everybody will stand up there and say, "All right, come take me to jail." That isn't for anybody, and a lot of people won't do it. But, this is a raw plant leaf. That's it. That's all you're going to find in this place. That's it. So, I mean, they could come and shut us down. The owners of the company don't have even the same view as I do. They don't want to go to jail for anything. But I'm going to make a stand. I don't care. If it goes legal here, I'll still use it. It's what we got the Freedom Field for in Harmony. Actually, I want to speak to you about that. We got the Freedom Field, and you be in the Freedom Joy show. I think it'd only be right if I got you up there. I'll have to send
Oh,
you
yeah,
information,
that'd be
see if
great.
it's something you're interested in. I know it's a long trip for you, but
Yeah.
it doesn't take much equipment to send a podcast from on the other side of the United States.
Oh, sure. I mean, the Freedom Field. I mean, if that's a real field, right?
Yeah, it's been doing just what you've been doing, fighting for the freedoms of cannabis. Look it up on Facebook, Freedom Harmony, Maine, Freedom Field, Harmony, Maine. We have Kratom Fest 2018 happening there August 10th, 11th, and 12th. We're going to have music, live events, education, doctors. Going to be speaking about CBD. It's actually, I get a special release that's supposed to be coming out, and I'm waiting on somebody to do it, get all the ducks in a row before we make the big release. But there's something big coming out that I think even you're going to be extremely excited about, Tara.
Oh, I should come out.
Yeah.
I've never. Now that's you're in Maine or Maryland?
Maine. Yep.
Maine.
It's the Freedom
I've
Field in
never
Harmony,
been.
Maine.
I've never been there.
Yeah, it's beautiful up here this time. That time of year, August. Bring some bug dope.
That would be fun.
I'm sure we have all kinds of. Oh, it's going to be good. You're going to be surprised. Right now, as it is, the field will hold roughly around 4,000. But I guess the only thing that I can say is after recent events, we're discussing on whether or not we can get the field bigger by August. We have 5 other events happening at the Freedom Field, festivals, our type of festivals, regular cannabis festivals, hippie fest, whatever. They spread the word and the message about cannabis legalities. I think this year is going to be great for that field. I think we're really going to hit a platform because I'm going to take over, and I'm not taking over the field, but I'm taking over the aspect of, well, that is if we can get social media to work with us, that is. Because as it stands right now, if we don't get this figured out, then they're just going to shut us down before we even get going. We'll have to live off a website, basically. You know what I mean? I'm confident that we've got enough of a following that if I was to post a website that, people would always be able to find the event and whatnot. But it's just a matter of time before what's going on with Kratom, CBD, vaping, everything. We can't be ourselves. That's one thing that I've always said right from the beginning with everything. Just be yourself. Just be yourself. Some people like being yourself and some people don't. Or some people like us being ourselves.
It seems like Kratom would be something that you could get a leap against, law enforcement against prohibition, because you can get leap 4, not again.
Yeah,
because,
I believe we've had a few people contact them.
They don't believe in prohibition at all for anything. Anything. They don't think that morality crime should be legislated. That if a person I guess even if they wanted to hire a hooker, I suppose, and do some crack, as long as that you did it in the confines of your home and you weren't a burden to anybody around you, then you shouldn't be penalized for it. I mean, that's where they're really at. Now, Leap has marijuana's logged on to it, and now it seems to be like, well, it's all about marijuana. Yeah, they're about it, but their real philosophy is all things. So that might be an organization that you might be able to get backing under about.
Yeah, well, James Deborah, he's the president of the NKC National Kratom Coalition. He said that they contacted him and that there's just certain things that can't be said. I guess I'll have to follow up with him on that. But was you aware that they're not allowing dab videos at all anymore? I guess on Instagram and YouTube.
They won't allow any dab videos.
Yeah, they're
anymore?
taking down videos taking dabs. I'm not sure if it's gone into effect yet, but it is coming. And I know it's happening on YouTube too. There's a lot of stuff happening on YouTube.
God, that's even more censorship to get angry at. You know what? We're going to take just a moment here for a second because Stephen G. Kelly wants to do the announcement. I want to bring him on for a second, but just in case, make sure that for right now until we get back on after announcement, just mute your mic for a second, Sarah.
Okay,
All right, 10-4. I'll mute it.
I'll just hang up on him right now. How's that sound?
No.
I need lettuce to my teeth right now.
I don't think you lettuce.
Okay, all right.
We're videotaping.
Oh, the light. You're over there. Gotta fix the lighting.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right.
Okay, yeah, right. Hi. Okay. Yeah. Welcome. This is Truth Cat Radio, www.truthcatradio.com. You're listening to Freedom of Joyce, and we mentioned, yes, this is Truth Cat. I haven't heard that in a while. You got to mention Truth Cat. Help Truth Cat. God.
That's right.
Truth Cat. Truth Cat.
Truth Cat.
Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah, it's really hot. Oh my God, I can tell you some stories about that. Anyway.
About the hat?
Well, no, about this Truth Cat in general. It's stuff that's going on with Truth Cat. It's like the name, just the name Truth Cat right now is like, can't talk about it even.
Well, I've done a hashtag Truth Cat before, and Facebook's like, kind of made it difficult. Made it difficult for me to upload one of my videos actually when I did hashtag
Truth Cat. Poor Truth Cat. It's like, why would anyone want to pick on poor Truth Cat? It's just wacky, but I guess that's what we get for being so cool to get and all that fun stuff.
Right.
Anyway, can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. I can hear you. I can.
Hear me? Do I have earphones? I
do like earphones. They look really good. The way the gray,
it makes my gray hair look not so gray.
Well, I mean, but the gray and the microphone against the gray in your earphones, it all syncs up right now, Stephen. Very impressed. Very impressed.
Oh, German dimension. They're made in Germany. Germany. In other words, they probably won't break if they fall down.
No.
It's like, is it only the Germans could figure out that headphones shouldn't hurt your ears?
Apparently,
I know maybe Dr. Dre has really small ears or something like that. Maybe they have small ears. Got my head up. But, it's like, come on, these things should be comfortable. Then the Germans say.
For the sensitive ear man.
If you're going to be wearing these things, if you're
you wear these a long time.
Yeah, exactly. You've got to, you shouldn't be, your head shouldn't hurt after a few hours of wearing a silly pair of headphones.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
I was thinking I was on mute with you guys.
It should not hurt.
That's right. But the main thing that we want to remind people is that there's a lot of things that shouldn't hurt, right? Like giving to Truth Cat.
Right.
It shouldn't hurt. You should help Truth Cat out, because Truth Cat is so generous. Isn't Truth Cat generous? I swear, he's so generous, Mr. Kitten. Where is he? He's so generous. Look at everything he's done. It's amazing.
Mr. Kitten rubs his face against dogs' faces. Mr. Kitten gets
look at what he's created. But look at what he's created. That's what's most important. His legacy is becoming so great. We can't even talk about how great his legacy is becoming at this point. It's like, wow.
Right.
Anyway, but he does depend on your contributions.
Yeah.
To keep the kitty filled. Fill the kitty. And to do little things. Emily, go away.
And
Emily. But anyway, Emily does eat the cat food, and she's not supposed to. She stay away from the cat food.
Must be yummy.
Well, there's high fat content or something in that cat food. It's not good for her. Or no, high pro. I'm not sure what. Anyway, either way. But yes, did I mention we have a PayPal? I should do that. Yes, Truth Cat PayPal is Stephen Kelly 714@gmail.com. That's STEVENKELLEY 714@gmail.com.
Thank you, everybody that stuck with me this
long. And when you're
Appreciate
ready to make that generous contribution, make sure that you say that it's for a friend or a family and not a business transaction or not for goods or services. They always, even if you say it's for friends or family, they'll still give you a chance and say, is this for a good or a service? It's like,
even though it's coming from your friend or family?
Yeah, even though you've already indicated it's for friends or family. It's
How
like,
dare them?
It's like, screw it. It's like, what part of no do you not understand? Anyway. So you got to watch out for that sneaky behavior, because they'll take a little bit out of it. And obviously, we need every little bit you can. And it looks funny when you donate $20 and we only get 18 something. People go, oh, I guess they didn't indicate that we're a friend or family. Oh. It's like, because nobody donates a funny number like that, right?
No. I know. I had one. Yeah, it was confusing. I've had that happen several times. You lose a certain portion of of your money if you don't put something
of your money, of my money, of Truth Cat's money.
Of the money that you intended to give to Truth Cat.
But you know, if you don't mind giving a little bit of money to PayPal, which is supporting noble things like what? Isn't he doing SpaceX or something? Isn't that the SpaceX guy?
Oh, let's ask him. What were you using? I thought you said Beeline. Beeline.
No, I'm talking about PayPal. The guy that owns the company PayPal, he also owns some other major corporations.
I don't know. I know the guy that created McAfee is actually the creator of Bitcoin.
Wait a minute. Isn't the guy that created PayPal the same guy from Tesla?
Elon Musk?
Uh-huh.
No.
Sure? Oh, God, I gotta look that up now.
No. You have to look it up.
Let's see.
Maybe. I mean, if it is, I mean, one more reason to be impressed by Elon Musk. Mm-hmm. I know a lot of people don't. They think he's a little weird, but you know, there's something I like about him. I don't know what it is.
John Mallory. Let's see. Elon Musk. Elon Musk. Elon Musk. Elon Musk.
Damn it.
Elon Musk.
I didn't think it was.
Yeah. Yeah, I just said so. Right here, Wikipedia. PayPal was developed and launched as a money transfer service at the Confinity in 1999, funded by John Malloy from Blue Run Ventures. In March 2000, Confinity merged with X.com, an online banking company founded by Elon Musk.
Oh, okay. Well, let's just make sure that Elon Musk doesn't actually hybrid our minds to computers.
No, he's the one that doesn't want to do that.
Well, I think so, but he has this company where he is doing some research on stuff, you know, nanotechnology and brain interface sort of.
You got to be on top
mainly
of it.
To help diseases.
Wouldn't you? Let me tell you something.
Yeah, of course. I mean, all
right. Let me just say something about nanotechnology and brain interface. Okay.
He actually sold it to PayPal.
The company I work for, PerkinElmer,
for $165 million.
One of the areas I worked in was.
Is there really a Perkin and Elmer?
Chunk of change, huh?
Yeah, there was a Mr. Perkin and a Mr. Elmer. Anyway.
All right.
I worked in massive optics, but before I worked in massive optics, I worked in the micro-aligned division, which was the microphotolithography. I always still worked in microphotolithography, but the point is that not only did PerkinElmer invent microphotolithography, they also invented the brain interface thing.
Oh, really? Brain interface.
years and years ago, I remember working at PerkinElmer and seeing information about one of their devices that was like a small semiconductor, because of course they were the semiconductor people. They were the guys that made the micro thingies, and they had made a little micro thingy, and it looked sort of like a comb, because it had a bunch of little prongs, sticking
you making fun
out
of
of it. And this would plug into a bunch of nerves or something in the brain, and this is how they would jack into the brain with this little device. So you could just say that the people that these are the people that brought us computers. So they've been making these so-called implants since they've been making computers.
Okay, so we're not really looking at anything new here.
No, I mean, mankind, humans, American factories have been making implants, micro implants. They look gold for the most part. It just look like full golden, microstructures, but they're like semiconductors, only they're, made for sticking into a little spot in your head somewhere. I remember that clearly because they had all the little prongs, and it was just kind of like a CPU kind of plugs into a circuit board. It's sort of the same thing, only you're sticking that into a brain.
Wow.
Yeah, trippy, huh? And it's tiny, of course. It's microscopic.
That's trippy.
Yep.
So this has all been around for a long time.
It's been around for a long time. Yeah,
not a big deal. We're just talking, but now they're just, hey, it's coming down the pike. We're really gonna be.
I've seen these things.
We got it perfected for you. We've tested all the different monkey brains, and now we have one. We went for your monkey brain.
The 70s, I think. 70s, 80s, early 80s, late 70s, something like that. So yeah, it's been around for a while.
So what do you think about that Tesla car?
Tesla car?
The Tesla car in Mars and stuff. That whole thing.
Well, actually, obviously I could care less, because if he has the ability to launch tons and tons of stuff into space, and he feels like launching his car up there as a publicity stunt that makes him money and helps him sell cars, more power to him. But what's funny is all the people that, first of all, Elon Musk is launching rockets into space, and the flat earthers are trying to act like this is all bullshit, and it's not actually happening. It's all being done on a soundstage somewhere.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, so that's
oh yeah, I mean,
get all excited.
You got to understand the whole fact that he's actually sending up rockets, and that he's not NASA, and that the rockets are coming back down and landing and taking pictures all the way up and all the way back. It completely shoots to hell the whole flat Earth thing, and so they have to try to make fun of it, which is kind of pathetic, because when he set up the stupid car, it didn't matter if it was fake and he didn't set it up and he was just making funny commercials and what have you. It's psyching everybody out. Who cares? But they had to make a big deal out of it. See, none of this is real. None of this is real. It's like, yeah, so what? Maybe he didn't have an astronaut sitting in a convertible flying around space. We get it. It's a joke.
Okay, what do you think? What is it about humans, that makes them get asphyxiated on something like flat Earth?
Asphyxiated?
Or I mean, it's like, no, this is the way it is. Flat Earth. I'm like,
Steve Dowling's a flat Earth enthusiast.
Way of proving its reality when there isn't really reality, and then you have to think about, well, is that indicative of just the human personality? I mean, is it us going out of our, going too far?
I know you have flat earthers listening, so.
Do I? I'm sure. I'm friends with some flat earthers.
Yeah, you're friends with flat earthers.
I like all people, even flat earth people.
Probably. In fact, I could go check right now and see if they're tuned in. There, just for shits and giggles.
Go tag them.
What would I say? All right, first of all, the whole fact that they even use this flat earth nonsense, they put that out there. It's like bait, of course. Fishing.
Right, to make the whole entire genre of people that are in the online media look like they're freaking cool. Maybe
it's the intentions of whoever started it.
I'm sorry.
They have their intentions. Okay, it's not
okay.
All right, it's not their intentions. It's what's important is that they help us also to identify these idiots.
Well, why are they like that? That's what I'm asking. What happens to people that they just...
Were they undereducated or something?
I know some pretty intelligent people that really think that
they seem intelligent, huh? Well, isn't that amazing? They seem intelligent.
They must be.
I know, huh?
They got to be.
That's the most funny part is they actually.
I was thinking for Elon Musk intelligent.
That's the ticket right there. The
aliens.
But they fooled everyone really good. They look intelligent, huh?
Well, I mean.
And until they start opening their mouths and go,
oh my God, they
I had some friends who I was surprised because, well, look at this rocket, it's hitting the ceiling, it stops in the middle of the rocket. Come on. It is not, I mean, that's just, and I thought they were smart people. I thought they were people that, listen to us and whatever. And I'm like, come on, don't give me this. What, are you trying to turn me into a nut job? I don't know.
I mean, think of it for just 1 second, though. If the flat earther thing was true, this whole concept of the ice wall going around the whole perimeter, do you have any idea how big that would be? How much ice you'd be talking about? How cold the ocean would be if there was actually the entire thing was surrounded by ice as opposed to a couple little spots? You know what I mean?
Right.
Seriously, think about that for a second.
Did she apologize about going off topic?
If the ocean was totally surrounded by an ice wall that could have been who knows how big, I'm assuming Trump's massive. Border. The little bit of fluid in the center of that would be frozen in no time. I mean, there's no logic there whatsoever. Now, on a polar situation on a globe, obviously, it's further away from the sun. It's practically in a shadow all the time. At least one half of it is, right? Depending on the season, one pole is going to be in the shadow. It's only natural, and even the amount of the centrifugal force that people talk about. Oh, centrifugal force. It's like as if they could understand the concept. It all makes a lot of sense. So anyway, yeah, it's quite foolish, very extremely foolish. And the other thing is that when you look at all the expeditions that have gone to Antarctica, they usually follow a certain path down by South Africa or no, South America. Typically, will be the Argentina and what have you, and then that'll be the final thing before they hit the that. Depending on what side you're trying to hit, but the point is that
they're talking. I called it.
They don't
their talk
deviate
show.
from that. And the thing is, if this ice wall was in every possible direction, as they suggest, then they wouldn't have to be. Why would they be going to this one spot all the time just to hit the ice wall? It's so. And I'll tell you, there's another thing that just really bothers me is that when I was a little kid,
it was down.
Young,
I'm sorry.
I used to follow this guy named Robin Lee Graham, and he sailed a 25-foot sailboat around the world. You know, and the whole thing was documented in National Geographic, and you know, we followed the exploits of this guy as he sailed around the world. And you can't fucking tell me that this whole there's he would have had to, it's like, really, with the way they set up, like Africa's over here and South America's way down here. It's like, oh, so you're going to tell me they had to go like circumnavigate, halfway around the globe just to get from one continent to the other. It's so ridiculous. Anyway, so even a child that has any concept of geography knows this is crap. And the stuff that they use, this plane there's no plane flights that fly here and no plane flights that fly here, and they don't fly over this, they don't fly over that. Is that true? And even if a plane was flying over, if you're flying, would you want to fly over the pole? Would you want to be on a plane? It's like flying over the ocean. Would you want to be flying over the North Pole? I don't think so. You know what I mean? Seriously.
Well, I mean, maybe some planes don't fly places because they're not good places to go. It's like,
exactly. What happens
there? I mean, it's like
there's no radio, there's no radar.
There's
no Coast Guard.
Right.
Everybody going to help you if something happens.
Right. Yeah, it's Gilligan's Island.
Yeah, there's no shipping.
It's not no one, because why would they have flights going there?
Exactly, you're not going to do that. Now, if you're an ICBM, that's a whole other story. But that's a whole other thing. The concept of they don't believe in rockets and missiles. It's there's no such thing. They only go up so high and they hit the glass.
I've had somebody tell me recently, like we've never went to space. We can't go to space. There's none of this. You would be, and so I'm like, okay.
And the excuses they come up with are like, they know what they're talking about, like the Van Allen belt. You can't go across the Van Allen belt.
That's it. Yeah, it's the Van Allen belt.
Yeah, it's like, oh, really? That's like being a surfer and saying, there's no way you can swim out to beyond that breakwater. Oh, really? It's the same damn thing. Think about it.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Waves. Van Allen belt. Yeah, it's going to suck, but you'll get out there. That's why it takes them so long to get out there. People don't realize this. They know what they're doing. They know how to get between those waves. They can measure that shit. They don't tell everybody how they do it. What do you think they spend so much time with those satellites up there measuring every single little detail of the damn Van Allen belts? They can get around it. And it's different. Even if you look at the Van Allen belt, it changes at the poles. That's what the damn the Aurora Borealis is. It's where the Van Allen belt goes into the Earth. Okay, it's the top of the curve. It goes from there like that, and then goes the opposite on the other side. Well, there's your what? How does a flat earther explain the Aurora Borealis? Really?
I've never even heard of it.
Exactly.
Before.
You never heard of the Aurora Borealis?
I haven't heard.
If you live in Alaska, you know all about the Aurora Borealis. I mean, they call them the Northern Lights. Okay.
Okay.
Northern Lights.
I've heard of the Northern Lights.
Otherwise known as the Aurora Borealis.
Not the type you smoke.
Too. Northern Lights.
Northern Lights. Well, I wouldn't know anything about that.
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh, let me tell you something about the weed.
Uh-huh.
California, new warning labels.
Oh, really? What?
Yep. New warning labels. It says, government warning, this package contains cannabis a Schedule 1 controlled substance, yada yada, keep out of reach of children, yada yada, etc. This is intrusive, and you can't even write what it is on the damn package. How in the hell are they supposed to do that? In other words, the warning label takes up the whole damn package.
You can't put the name of the stuff on it anymore.
There's no room on it to write.
They have to have a warning label
because
of like.
Fucking warning label. Look at this. It has a danger. See that triangle?
A danger.
Danger. Schedule 1.
That's offensive.
That's fucked
offensive.
up.
That's offensive.
That's offensive.
That's offensive.
Yeah.
That's fucked
I
up.
agree.
This is because of that fucking proposition.
That's fucked up.
Proposition.
Sorry.
Yep, because of the consumer bullshit. Suddenly it is for persons over 21 unless you have
Because
a
of
prescription.
FDA.
In other words, if you're medical, then you can have it under 21. But now, see how they screwed it up?
So now that's a recreational one. It's
This
now for everything.
is a recreational label, but there at the very bottom here, there's an if. Unless the person is a qualified.
It's because they didn't give up. They
patient,
sat there and fight for their
cannabis
shit.
use while or whatever. But it's still at the same time they're trying to get all this, watch out for children, don't be pregnant, don't
These folks are from the
operate
cannabis
vehicles,
industry.
don't operate machinery, use
was arrested
extreme
in
caution.
federal raid,
Use
and
extreme
she
caution.
is a
Extreme
comedian
caution.
about
Really?
cannabis.
Yeah, how many years
She brings
now?
an
and all of a
entire
sudden
cannabis
use
industry
extreme
part
caution?
with her.
Yeah.
What
And no one's ever died from it.
No one's ever died from it.
Yeah,
but
and
use
keep that.
extreme caution.
You want to keep it out of the reach of children. Okay, fine.
I've never heard of fetal. I've never heard of fetal
marijuana.
marijuana syndrome. There's fetal alcohol syndrome, but there's no such thing as fetal marijuana syndrome.
Kids
No, there is not.
hooked on heroin.
I
and
know. I have a friend who
opiates.
actually had a doctor who allowed her to use it. He confirmed a recommendation for her to use during pregnancy. But when she gave birth, the baby tested positive for marijuana, and she
that's
almost
not
lost
good.
the kid.
No, that's not
Still
good.
under surveillance for it.
Well, that was
And
dumb. Huh?
She still has child protective services on her for her.
How fucked up was that? So much for the doctor.
Well, or what the doctor said.
Yeah, so much for what the doctor said.
Right.
So much for trusting a doctor.
Yeah,
Doctors
I mean,
never
we're
lie.
supposed to.
Dead doctors never lie.
We're supposed to take prescriptions, but yet we can't take what the doctor's prescribing. If it's not a prescription,
I have
how fucked up
Derek
is that?
here.
I know.
Yeah. Let me see if
You
Derek, are you there?
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually sitting here bitching to my people. It's like, okay, so we're supposed to. They want us to take their prescription drugs. Okay, the biggest fucking drug pushers in the world, the FDA and Big Pharma. But yeah, on the other hand, if our doctors are telling us to take cannabis and kratom, they can still take away their licenses. They can mess with them on the board of health. They can do all kinds of weird, fucked up shit. But yet they're okay if they're prescribing what the FDA says is okay. But we're not allowed to control what's in our bodies. How messed up is that? That's not even right. And people just aren't aware of it. They're not taking notice. And there's 5 million people roughly taking kratom. Lord knows how many smoking cannabis. What is it, like at least 7/8 of the United States now? But they gotta get out there and stand out there and speak about what is going on, because either one, people really don't know what's going on, because like we're gonna take Tennessee for a fact, to have one phone call with everything that's going on down there. I mean, what's really going on? Are people just crawling in their graves and dying, or they giving up, or is the word not getting out there? Are we being flogged that much with our messages that nobody's just getting it? I mean, it used to be we could put out a 15-minute stream and there'd be 3,000 or 4,000 people hit it within 2 or 3 hours. Now you put out a stream and there's nothing. I'm just saying a lot. I wouldn't say the numbers. I'm just saying the numbers that you notice with like shares, because they're not seeing. You can tell when people see it. You know what I'm saying? You don't do as much with Facebook, I don't think, as I do. I mean, I have a couple different platforms set up, but you just don't. When you see the numbers that the businesses and everybody's doing, they don't line up with what is actually going on in real life. Basically, things just aren't adding up.
Well, sometimes I kind of wonder if, I actually do quite a bit of Facebook stuff. I've got a few pages, and we've got Stephen and I have some groups that we admin and everything, and so we
don't really know a whole lot. We're still pretty new at this stuff.
But the thing of it is that
amateurs. We're amateurs.
Come on, not really. No, not Stephen. Stephen's like, Stephen has like memes that hit like really big numbers and stuff.
600,000.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, like that's why he's not on Facebook, Derek. Okay, because his messages are getting like 600,000, hits.
Yeah.
We had what was that thing that we had? We had a memo. It was a memo that was out. That I actually, Stephen had it. It was before the real memo came out, right?
FISA memo.
Okay, so
it was the FISA memo.
It was part of the FISA memo. Okay, so Stephen says he was in Facebook jail, so he goes, you upload it, and I'm like, okay, so I uploaded. I put hashtag #Rich in it. They wouldn't. Then after that, it wouldn't upload. It wouldn't let me do it. So he had to go back.
No. They wouldn't let you upload it at all.
He didn't.
That was before no matter what on any page.
It wouldn't let me upload it at all. It said we're having a problem. We don't know how this is happening. We're having a problem.
Well, then I tried to do it. I went into your account and tried to do it. Using different techniques, and it wouldn't work either. I went into the Photoshop and tried changing the name of the document. Tried to re-upload it with a different name. Mess with the JPEG, change the size of the JPEG, stuff like that. Still wouldn't work. So finally, then I took a text, I wrote text across in big red letters. What did I say? Modified to beat censorship.
Yeah, Facebook censorship. Yeah.
Yeah, modified to
marking.
In big red marking, modified to beat Facebook, and then it went up.
And then it went up, and then it went by.
Then it went viral, yeah.
Viral, and then it went so viral that there was somebody talking about it. I was watching somebody else's YouTube video, and they go, "We don't know about this memo, blah 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 blah," and she's like debunking it and everything like that. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, "Oh my God, that's our memo!" Because I knew the red, printing, and the thing about Facebook censorship. So they've been censoring for a while. I mean, and you're right, it is certain tags like hashtag Seth Rich, hashtag David Pig.
I don't even know if it's hashtags in general, or if they're just taking the word. You know what I mean? Once they get a word in the system, because I don't know. And then it's not only the word, but there's a thing I firmly believe called like a secret Facebook jail, whereas you go in there and they don't let you know that you're in there, but you post something, and literally, I mean, you go to look at my wall, I'll have some posts where if I don't say certain words, they'll have 300, 400, 500 views, a couple dozen shares, whatever. But if I go in and say a few other choice words, there's 2 views, 1 like, so it's pretty obvious what's going on. I don't want to say I got to figure it out.
Yeah, I think they kind of can vary your stuff and make it so your algorithms don't go.
I don't vary my stuff.
No,
well,
Facebook?
I mean, they do. They don't.
No, they can't. They try. They try.
They do that whole thing where you start. I don't know why, but your computer starts acting up and you can't seem to share. It gets all stuck in everything.
Multiple computers, so
I can't stand.
Yeah, but anyway, I hit so many groups. At least 40 groups per thing, and it depends. So it really doesn't matter what it is. It has a lot to do with the public. Like certain things will push buttons more than other things, and people are simple like that. And then of course, if there's things happening in the world, like when there's a big fire by the Getty, and all of a sudden everybody's attention was over there, suddenly there's more activity and things were hotter. But yeah, that one JPEG with the red text on it, that damn thing was showing up in other people's YouTube videos, and they were getting like good. For instance, I mean, I know some of these.
That really tripped me out. I was like, because
they all had a lot of subscribers. So that's what I'm saying.
I was like, what? Yeah, I was really. Well, I called.
But yeah, I know. But you've never seen that before. But it's like when for a while there,
not like
all my damn Getty JPEGs were showing up all over the place, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they were being stuck. I mean, this stuff is out on YouTube, so there's all sorts of YouTube content if it hasn't been taken down that features links to all these other previous videos and all these JPEGs, quite a few of them, hard-hitting ones. So yeah, like key things like Occupy the Getty have
Susan,
become,
it's the new Tara Joyce
very
show.
mainstream, or have been getting quite a bit more mainstream as a result of all that.
Just doing the cross-referencing,
do you
posting.
think, I'm going to put it out there, maybe Derek too. I mean, are they going to be able to actually really shut us down, or is this just? I'm hoping this is just like some sort of oppression that we're going through, and we're gonna turn it around. But it's I don't know. I'm feeling uncomfortable by it.
A song comes to mind by McFadden and Whitehead. It was Daryl's theme song. You remember the words? I
don't remember. I have no. I didn't.
No stopping us now.
Oh, ain't no stopping us now. Okay, yeah. Well, you know what song I had in my head was "This is how we do it."
Well, anyway, obviously, no, doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't matter. We're it's too late. It's too late.
Exactly, it's way too late, man. This ball is rolling. This ball is rolling hard. So, I mean, it takes people getting recognition and then creating other platforms that will allow us to continue to spread the message, because people are taking notice, and a lot of people. I mean, I know the FDA is getting visited by people in Senate and Congress and having requests, and people are definitely taking notice. So we just got to keep going. They'll follow us wherever we go.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, we're kind of just taking a hit right now, but
from all sides,
we're still. Yeah, but sometimes I wake up in the morning, I'm like, do I still have a Facebook page? Like, you go to log on, am I going to be able to log on or not?
Wow, what must that be like, huh? Wow.
The only thing that Facebook so far has taken off is I had my interview of the Bundy Ranch thing. The militia. When I interviewed the militia back the first time, not the second time, not the first sanctuary, but the first time they removed my stuff, and there was a period, like about an hour, I couldn't get into my Facebook page, and they said we've removed this because I guess it wasn't. But it's a gun thing, right? I mean, like they want the whole thing about being armed. If you're asking or questioning or you're interviewing the side of a militia or something like that, that gets you in trouble with Facebook.
Yeah, you can't have gun platforms either.
Hey, hang on just a second here. I want to give a shout out to Diane who's listening.
Diane, we should have Diane call in.
Well, I don't know if she wants to call or not, but I see her out there, so I want to give a shout out to her and say hi, Diane.
Hi,
we got Grants Pass out there listening too. Hey, Grants Pass.
Hey, Grants Pass.
And Ottawa is always listening, but just got a shout out to those people.
Hi, Jen.
Shout out to Ottawa.
Hi, Derek. Oh, that was me. Hey, Susan. How are you, Ben?
Grants Pass called in before.
Jen.
Huh?
Yeah.
Your show?
Making sure.
You want to have him call in? Hey, guy. Call in, dude.
Jen.
Grants
Rob.
Pass, call in.
Lindsay, how are you?
Call in, Grants Pass.
And you don't have to call in unless you want to.
Thanks for listening, Diane.
She can't see because she doesn't have the camera. Nobody has a camera except for the people watching the YouTube.
Well, you know what? I didn't realize you were gonna live stream. You're gonna be live on camera, Derek. We would have.
Oh! I forgot to tell Derek. It's like, Derek, don't forget, we own your live stream, dude.
That's fine. That's fine. Have at it.
Oh no.
Cat takes control.
As long as you can keep me up, you can own it all you want.
It's 11:30 your time, isn't it?
Yep. 11:30.
Yeah.
That's right. I can do this all night. I've done it before.
Wow.
No, I'm just kidding. I won't keep you up all night.
So
you want to repeat your website again, Kat?
Oh, my website or your website?
Everybody.
Our website.
Fuck.
We're at True Cat. What?
Oh, just my speakers.
Oh,
I mean, my headphones. No, you guys' websites and platforms that you use, and I get like 16, 17 people still with us.
16, 17 people are with us still.
Shut up.
Shut up.
Oh, we got a caller. This is probably Grant's Pass right here, or Diane. Let's see.
Okay.
Who's it? Let's see who it is.
We're at truthcatradio.com. Check
Hang
it
on.
out.
Who do we got here?
Are you yelling for Grant's Pass?
Hey, shout to Grant's Pass.
Well, I just stepped out of the room for a minute. And I'm headed back this way, and I'm, what the fuck? You know, okay, let me do this. I've been kind of following off and on tonight. I've been in and out of the room.
You feel yourself being dragged onto the radio. It's like, oh, Bob.
I don't want to talk about it. It was just weird. So, did the cat come back?
Oh, okay, the cat. Yes. Okay, the cat has the cat has come around, is here, but I can't get her to come into the house. She's really rebelling and wanting to stay outside.
Well,
so
the
she's
cat
eating
came
food.
back.
She's eating food.
Good.
You know, she's staying in the like. I have a little patio by my window, and Stephen made a little temporary cat house.
Okay,
and
so.
she's got a little.
And now you guys are.
Huh?
And now you can't forget. I've made them out of an old tote by cutting a hole in the end of it. You know, like a plastic tote with a lid, and you cut a curved hole in it so they can get in and out. That's
well, you should see this one. This one's stylish. It's made out of a big giant styrofoam box. Hey, 305. Who's this that just joined us? 305.
So anyway, you were talking about naming it, right?
Wait, hang on. Is it 305? Is this Diane here?
Yeah, it is.
Diane, turn off your radio, okay? I think that's your radio.
Hi, Diane.
All right, go ahead.
It's hi. Hi, Terry.
How are you?
I love you, Terry.
Yeah,
You're
thank
so sweet.
Oh, I love you too.
Thanks.
I found the chat. Looks like they actually got some people going on in the chat.
Guess what? They mess with my modem, so my regular phone isn't working.
It's shutting down, huh?
Well, my phone mode, my internet modem is working, but my phone modem is down in the basement. So I'm on my pay-per-minute cell phone from Florida. But they're messing with everybody. You know, it's just games. It's just to take our freedom away. It's to get us to take our attention off the important things and put our attention on trivia. I mean, these are... Am I talking too loud?
Yeah, you're always so loud. Damn it, Diane. Jeez, I swear. It's like you're yelling.
No, really. Am I?
No, you sound fine to me.
No, really. We can't hear you at all. You need to talk louder.
Stephen has those cushy earphones on, so, you know.
Oh, well, okay.
But I'm fine.
So, you know, it's all about circumstances. Like, we have to rise above the circumstances. It's all a spiritual battle. And this is all the material world. You know, this is all physical. The spiritual realm is where the battle's going, and you know how it is, what I'm saying. And they're just trying to mess us all up.
Walk into either, so.
Huh?
My arms are very tired from
I had to
battling.
make sure I was on mute. Yeah, I'm on mute.
No, but they're
I'm just trying
to mess us all up with circumstances.
Promote everything, just trying to get as
when
much
really
truth
you don't
out
need
there,
to be
help
upset
that we
about
can
it.
get,
You just have to
because Tennessee
have joy
is not
that
responding
you're
at all
as
to calls.
beautiful as you are.
Or
You know?
the call of action anyway.
We're doing battles with Max Caswell. My soldiers.
Oh, did I say hi to you? Hi, Stephen.
Diane, you know I'm here, right? You forgot I was here?
Yeah, well, of course I know you're there.
Okay.
But I was
I already said hi to you, Pam.
Well,
I was ignoring you on purpose.
Yeah. Grant's Pass was just telling us something right before we indulged you because we had to indulge you, but we got to get back to Grant's Pass and let him finish what he was saying, and then we can.
Oh, good. Okay. So I'm gonna hang up.
Oh, you
No.
don't have to. Just wait.
You don't do that.
No,
Don't hang up.
No, I just. No. I
paid
just.
it by the minute. I realized that.
Yeah. No, I just wanted to say hello. I wanted to say hello, and I love you guys, and that's it. Okay.
Oh,
Logan
thank
go?
you.
Okay. Well,
Thank you, Diane.
Okay. Hang in there.
Okay.
Don't worry about the little things.
Be happy.
All right.
Don't worry, be happy.
Yeah, you know that.
Yeah.
You know that song. Don't you love that song?
There's a
Don't
song.
worry, happy.
Isn't it the song
Somebody's
I
right
wrote?
song.
Be happy.
That's right.
You don't want me to sing it.
worry.
No.
You know that.
I
Just
know
be
that
happy.
song.
Yeah.
I know
Okay.
that song. It
That-
goes like this. It's
Oh,
a
I
little
think I'm
song.
gonna
It goes
jump
like
off.
this.
Oh, God, they're gonna sing.
Right?
Don't worry.
Be
Be
happy.
happy. Okay. Grant's Pass.
Okay, God bless. Take care.
Adios.
Bye bye.
Adios.
I'm
God
gonna start
bless
singing
Diane.
God Bless
Adios.
America in a minute.
Click.
Oh,
Great.
Click.
Grant's Pass.
Hang
the
up.
only thing I was going to say was that the cat came back,
Yes.
and so you were something about naming it. Well, the first thing that came to mind was like, the boomerang thing or the yo-yo, and I thought, Boomer would sound good. That's kind of a badass name,
Boomer.
She's black, right?
Yeah.
Boomer.
Black.
Oh,
I don't know, just an idea.
man.
Boomer.
Yeah, but the other thing I was just saying was, and everything I've heard tonight and
Yeah.
lately, and
I'm jumping
now
off
it's
that.
running
I
so
don't
deep.
care about any of that. I'm done with that. Sorry, Terry, if you come back and watch this later. Nothing wrong. I'm just getting tired. It is 11:40, almost 11:40 our time. Thank you, everybody, for jumping in, watching us, listening. That was Tara Joyce of the Tara Joyce Show. She's been around the cannabis industry for a number of years. I'm not going to get into what her full story is, but she has a really interesting story. She has a really good following. So she helped us out a little bit in the earlier years with Kratom, and actually Susan was involved with a couple of her shows as well. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to just get as many people together that stream, that do podcasts. Some people think it's weird that we're going around trying to get all these different people to do this with us, to spread the message, because for some reason they're not flogging our live streams, but they're flogging our regular posts. I hate cameras, but we knew this was going to go this way. They want to see your face. They want to know that you are a real person, because IA is a real thing. And I don't want to get into the whole political aspect, like with the Russian hacking thing or whatever all that shit is. I'm just saying that, we have to change with the times. Oh, always dropping shit. And in order to do that, you got to be prepared and look at your surroundings at all times, and always be aware of what is around your surroundings at all times. Times are tough right now, but they are not at a bitter end. I can about 99% promise you that. We go through things. I mean, there's all kinds of, cannabis was a Schedule 1, and look how readily available it is. So remember the Freedom Field, Kratom Fest 2018, hashtag Kratom Fest 2018. You want to get get a hold of me, KratomFest2018@gmail.com. Thank you all, and have a wonderful evening. We'll do a call show here one of these other nights with all you folks. Peace and love. Carry on.